I made the paper today. Hettie Bustle, 45, a civil engineer from British Railways. They've even quoted me. This is what happens when a woman engineer goes on the job, said Miss Bustle. Panic stations. This particular event happened last week. I'd like to tell you it was unusual, but it isn't. In fact, I always leave a little extra time for things like this. I'd just stepped down onto the tracks to inspect them when the station master blew his whistle loudly and ran down the platform towards me. I'd checked in all the usual ways. They knew H. Bustle, British Railways engineer, was at the station, checking the electrified line between 7 and 7:15, before the next train was due in at 7:33. Oh, you have to be very careful and time it perfectly, you see. It's a dangerous job. Anyway, I was just hopping down onto the tracks when this gentleman came steaming up the platform, shouting and screaming. "Can I help you?" I asked him, nice as pie. He just kept shouting, "Get off the tracks!" I stepped back up onto the platform, careful to show him my knowledge, explaining I only had a short window of opportunity to inspect the track before the next train. He looked at me, confused. "I'm the engineer," I said to him, still smiling. "I believe you have all my paperwork in the office?" That stumped him. All he could say was, "Mr. Bustle, we're expecting Mr. Bustle." "No," I told him slowly and clearly, "Miss H. Bustle, Hettie. Nice to meet you," and stretched out my hand. He looked awkward then. Embarrassed, you might say. "Sorry," he mumbled. "I wasn't expecting a woman." "Well, there we are," I said curtly. "That's what you've got, a woman railway engineer, and if you'll excuse me, I've got less time than I'd like to inspect the tracks now." I'm used to this sort of thing now. I was the first female engineer after all. Yes, the first. My specialism now is in subsidence, the problems that can be caused when the earth falls away under a track. My knowledge comes in part from working in Wales for many years. All the mines in Wales mean there's often the potential for the land under the tracks to slip or holes to appear because of the underground tunnels nearby. But I didn't start in this job. I joined as a temp in 1934, a tracer. I'd left school the previous year, and it was a time when jobs were very hard to come by, thanks to the depression between the wars. I took an exam for the civil service. There were 2,000 of us sitting an exam for 4 jobs. I didn't get one. Then I took an exam for GWR. I came second overall, but there was only one job available. The person who came first got the permanent job. They must have liked what they saw in me, though, because they gave me a temporary job to prove myself. I worked hard and showed my abilities, and they kept me on. I have been promoted and trained along the way. I went from tracer to draftswoman, rather a similar route to other women before me. Oh, you may have heard of Elsie Winterton. Elsie's work was in the office. She managed a team of female tracers until she retired this year. She and other women paved the way for me to go even further. That's what pioneers do. They open the way for others. My job steps out of the office and onto the line itself, as you now know. I'm a member of the Women's Engineering Society too. Oh yes, there are enough female engineers now for a whole society. And not just railway engineers either. We women work in all sorts of fields of engineering. I work in London now, and work in bridges and liabilities for the whole of the western region of British Rail. Which is why I was there, checking the track. Oh, goodness knows how the paper got the story. And what ridiculous details they focus on. As the attractive woman in the black and white coat stepped blithely off the platform, I mean, what difference does my appearance make? And I did not step blithely off the platform. I'm a highly trained and respected engineer. Anyway, I got the job done in the end. And the newspaper article did at least show people that we women engineers exist. We can do the same job as a man, just as well. When have you not been able to do something because of your age or appearance?
Teach an older person something, even when I knew more than them.
Using Discord. Go on a fun photo